Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to show you how to make this hooded scarf with pom-poms. Now this is something that I make each year about this time, mostly as presents for Christmas or just for, just to make some girls happy. Okay, so this is the one that I came with this year. It has this little pattern going. So hopefully you can see. So it is front and back post double crochet. You kind of mix them into a pattern, and you get this kind of a braid looking pattern going through the scarf. The same thing on the hood. The hood can be closed if you want. We have pom-poms hanging off it. We have pom-poms at the end of the hood. So very fun. So this one is in 3 colors and in size 5 to 8 years. I will have 3 sizes that you can follow. So 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5, and 5 to 8. So this is the 5 to 8 years in 3 colors. Hopefully I will get my daughter to put it on and make a few pictures so you can see it's slightly better. Okay. So, as you can see, I used up 3 colors: dark gray, light gray, and white. The other one that I'm going to show you has a lot more colors, but again, it can be made in 1 color if you like. And it is lightweight free or DK yarn that we are going to use for this project. Okay, so this one, as you can see, loads of colors. This is actually the one that I make in this tutorial. So you will be seeing a lot of colors throughout the whole video. And this is a size 2 to 5 years, slightly smaller, but a lot of pom-poms, a lot of colors make it very fun to look. It's going to be a great gift to a girl that I know. Again, leftover yarn. I have used up a lot of it. Very happy with that. Now, if you got interested into making one of these, let's go on and have a look of what we're going to need for this project. Okay, so to make this hooded scarf with pom-poms, what you're going to need is you're going to need normal scissors, whatever you usually use for cutting yarn. You're going to need some really sharp scissors for the pom-poms. It's always easier to make them when you have really nice and sharp scissors. A needle, very, very important. Again, we will do a good bit of sewing. Measuring tape, again, very, very important, because we will have to measure that scarf and that hood to make sure that it is as close to the size as we need it to be. A hook. Now, let me talk about the yarn and the hook. So this is DK weight or double knit weight yarn, lightweight yarn number 3. And I usually use a 4mm hook for this, but as I want it to be a little bit softer, I'm gonna use a 4.5mm hook, just a tiny little bit bigger hook than usual. Now you can choose your colors. You can use a lot of different colors. These are my leftovers that I'm using for this one that I'm making. As you can see, I have loads of colors here. I'll show you it in a few seconds. Okay, so as in total, you are going to need approximately 200 grams of yarn, any kind of lightweight free yarn, DK weight yarn that you want. So 2 skeins of 100 grams each is going to be enough. Now, whatever colors you decide to use, it can be both skeins can be 1 color, or you can have a lot of colors in less weight. So these are probably approximately 30-40 gram leftovers that I have, and I had a lot of colors, so it was enough for me. But it does involve a lot of tails if you are going to use a lot of colors. Now, one thing that I can offer you is perhaps take a just a cake that changes its colors, and you're gonna have a colorful scarf without a lot of tails. But it's completely up to you. I used a lot of colors. Let me just show you. I have the scarf ready. As you can see, loads of colors right here. It's very colorful and fun. Now, the next thing that you need to decide is if you are changing colors, then how many rows of each color you are going to do. So for this exact that I'm gonna be finishing off with you right now, I have chose to do 4 rows in each color. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then change color 1, 2, 3, 4. For the bigger one that I have made already right here, I have changed colors every 6 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, the more rows you do in one color, the less tails you're gonna have. But again, I think it is really fun, and it's a great way to use up your leftover yarns if you have them. Okay, so that's that. The next thing that I want to show you is the little chart that I have right here. I'm gonna have a good picture of it on my Facebook, but you can have a look right now. So we're gonna start with a scarf, the length of the scarf. Again, these are approximate. You can make your scarf longer or shorter if you want to, completely up to you. These are just the length that I usually make my scarves. Then how wide our hood should be, and how high our hood excuse me, how high our hood should be. Again, these are very approximate. We will try to get as close to these measurements as we can, but if we're a little bit over or under these measurements, it is absolutely fine, as it is a hood and a scarf. Like I said, I will have this on my Facebook page if you need a better look. Okay, so I think I have mentioned everything, and we can get started on that scarf. So to start your scarf, grab your hook and whatever color or colors that you are going to use. So I'm just gonna, for example, start with this one. Okay, so to begin, we are going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We are going to skip the very last chain, and into the second chain from the hook we're gonna put a single crochet. So single crochet, and continue on with 1 single crochet into each chain. At the end of this row we should have 19 single crochets. Okay, so to start, repeat row 1, we will chain 1 and turn. So this is the easy row, not much to do right here. So you're gonna yarn over and put a double crochet right in the very first stitch under that chain 1. So this is 1 double crochet. The chain 1 does not count as anything. Into the next stitch we put another double crochet, so this is 2 double crochets, and 1 more double crochet into the next stitch. So we have 3 double crochets in the row, 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna start with our first fan. We're going to skip 2 stitches, and into the stitch number 3 we're going to put 2 double crochets, 1, 2. We are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and put 2 more double crochets into that same stitch, 1 and 2. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, into the third stitch we make a double crochet, another double crochet into the next stitch, that's 2 double crochets, and 1 more into the next stitch, a double crochet. So we have 3 double crochets, a fan, and 3 double crochets. Yarn over, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, into the third stitch we make another fan. So it is 1, 2 double crochets into that same stitch, chain 2 and 2 more double crochets back into that same stitch. 1 and 2. And to finish it off, we're gonna skip 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Into the stitch number 3, we put our first double crochet. Into the next stitch, 1 more double crochet. And into the very, very last stitch, our last third double crochet. So if you look closely, you have 3 double crochets, fan, 3 double crochets, fan, and 3 double crochets. Now, repeat row 2 is slightly more difficult, so just have a good look and remember what we do. So you're gonna start with chaining 1 and turning. Now the very, very first stitch in the second repeat row is a half double crochet into the very, very first stitch. So a half double crochet. Now we have 2 double crochets after that before our first fan. So we're going to do back post double crochets. So you find that second double crochet, this one in the middle right here, and you make a back post double crochet. This is 1 and 1 more back post double crochet. Now to continue on with our fan, we are going to make a 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. Now that is a long name, just let's have a look. Okay, so yarn over, you find that very first double crochet from the fan, you go in from the front, start making your front post double crochet. So you have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 and stop. Yarn over again, go around that second double crochet, again it is a front post, yarn over, pull it through, you have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops like this. Then into under the chain 2 in the middle of the fan right here, we're gonna put in half double crochet, chain 2 and another half double crochet. And now we're going to finish off the fan exactly the same with 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. So yarn over, find that next double crochet from the fan, so this one right here, start making your front post double crochet, go halfway through it and stop. Leave those 2 stitches, or excuse me, loops on your hook. Okay, so you leave those 2. Yarn over, go around that second double crochet, start your front post. You have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, you have 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and now you have this little kind of front post braid. It will look more clearly once you do an extra few rows. Now we have these 3 double crochets in between our fans, and we make a back post double crochet around each of them. So back post, and back post. So you should have this little kind of a ridge once you make those back post double crochets. Then the next fan is exactly the same, 2 double crochets crocheted together. So yarn over, go around the first double crochet, so it is a front post, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and stop, yarn over, go around that second double crochet, pull, you have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. And under those chain 2 in the middle, we make a half double crochet, chain 2 and a half double crochet. We finish this fan again with the 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. like this. And we have 3 double crochets left, so we start with a back post double crochet 1, another back post double crochet, and a half double crochet into the very last stitch right here to finish the second repeat row. Now if you don't need to do your color changes, you are going to chain 1 and you're going to put your first stitch, so right here into the very first stitch. Now I want to show you how to change colors, however soon you want to change them, every 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on rows. So this is, I made 2 rows and I'm going to show you how to change colors. So cut your yarn, leave a longer tail because we're gonna have to hide it, and pull through. Grab your next color. So let me see, I'll just do pink. Make a slip knot. Again, leave a slightly longer tail. It's always easier to hide when you have a little bit longer. You're gonna find that very last stitch, so this one is right here, and connect your new color. You're going to chain 1 and turn. Now this is again repeat row 1, yarn over, and into that very same stitch put in a double crochet. So double crochet 1, I'll put those away. Into the next stitch double crochet number 2, and into the next stitch double crochet number 3. You should always have 3 double crochets at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of each row. Well, apart from the second repeat row, because you have half double crochet to begin and half double crochet to finish. Okay, so 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space. You make your fan. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. After that, you're gonna find your 3 double crochets in the middle, in between the fans, and this is the stitch a little bit to the left from this double crochet. So you make a double crochet into that. That is 1 into the next stitch, that is 2, and 1 more in the next, that is 3 double crochets. Again, the next fan, into the chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And to finish off, so you find your next double crochet. So this is right here. You get to skip 2 stitches because this is from the fan from previous row. You skip those 2, find your next double crochet, and it stitches a little bit to the left, and you make your double crochet. So this is double crochet 1, into the next stitch double crochet 2, and double crochet 3. Again, this is repeat row 2. We are going to chain 1. We are gonna turn again. Try to remember. We start with a half double crochet into the very first stitch. That is followed by 2 back post double crochets, so back post and back post. Then our fan, front post, double crochet halfway through and stop. Yarn over, go around the next double crochet, pull that out, go halfway through. Once you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Into the chain 2 space, you're gonna make a half double crochet, chain 2, and a half double crochet into that same space. Now you finish off your fan again with two front post double crochets crocheted together. Yarn over, go around the first of the 2 double crochets, go halfway through and stop. Yarn over, go around the second one, pull that out, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and you have another one of the front post fan or a braid, whatever you call them. Then the 3 double crochets in the middle in between the 2 fans, yarn over and make a back post double crochet around each of them. And another fan, again 2 front post double crochets crochet together, half double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, half double crochet. Finish off your fan with 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. And the very last 3 double crochets right here. So you have 2 back post double crochets, back post 1, back post 2, and finish with a half double crochet into the very last stitch, just like that. Now I want to show you the next 2 rows. Again, they are the same rows. I'm just not gonna change the color, just in case you're not. So you're gonna chain 1, you're gonna turn. So this is your very first stitch. It looks a little bit long because it's from a half double crochet, and half double crochets leave funny looking stitches. So right in the first stitch, double crochet, this is 1, double crochet into the next stitch, and another double crochet into the next stitch. So that's 3 double crochets in the beginning, into the chain 2 space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. Skip 2 stitches, find your next double crochet in between the fans, so this is that, and the stitch is a little to the left, and make 1 double crochet into each of those 3 middle stitches. Again, a fan, jump into the chain 2 space, double crochet 1, double crochet 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets in there. And we have 3 double crochets left. We put 1 double crochet into each of them. To start the second repeat row, you're gonna chain 1 and turn, make a half double crochet into the very first stitch, then 2 back post double crochets, so back post and back post, then 2 front post double crochets crocheted together around your fan, so 1 and the other 1, crochet together into the chain 2 space, half double, chain 2, half double crochet, and you finish off your fan with the 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. The 3 middle double crochets, get 1 back post double crochet each. 1, 2, and 3. Another fan, 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. Into the chain 2 space, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet. Finish off your fan with 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. and the very last 3 stitches, so the third last and the second last, so these two right here, get a back post double crochet, and the very last stitch, which is right here hanging on the side, is a half double crochet, chain 1, and start your other row or cut it off and add another color. And now you need to keep going until the length of your scarf is approximately this right here. So again, you choose which size that you're making. So this one right here that I'm making is 2 to 5 years, and the scarf length is approximately 125 to 130 centimeters in length. So you keep going this way until you have approximately 1 row left, which we need to do the very last row. Before we finish the scarf, we want to be on the front post double crochet row. Now let me finish. I need to do 1 more row on this, and then I can show you how to finish. For now, you keep going. You measure the length of your scarf, and once you reach that length right here, scarf length, or you can do longer or shorter, completely up to you, you're gonna stop and we will finish it together. Okay, so I'm finishing my scarf right now. I have 1 more row to go before finishing. So I need to do next is the front and back post row. Now you want to do that when you are happy, almost happy with the length. So my scarf at this moment measures approximately 123 centimeters. So my full length should be approximately 125, 130 centimeters. So that extra row right here and then single crochet row to tidy up the edge is going to add me another approximately 3 centimeters. So I will be in there in between those 2 measurements. Plus I haven't taken into consideration that when we put those pom-poms on, they will add, well, technically they will add another, I don't know, 3-4 centimeters to my full length. So have that in mind. We will still have pom-poms on the ends of the scarf. So okay, so to finish, the last row of our pattern is going to start the same. So we do a half double crochet in the first stitch, 2 back post double crochets, 1 and 2. We're gonna do our 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. And now the only real difference is in right here. So we make a half double crochet, we chain 1 instead of 2, just 1, another half double crochet, and we keep going with a pattern. So I finish off with the 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. So just see, we just kind of want to close in that gap in the middle right here. And 3 back post double crochets, again I start my fan as usual, 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. In the middle of chain 2 we do a half double crochet, chain 1 and a half double crochet. Finish off your fan as usual, and the last 3 stitches are back post double crochet, back post double crochet, and a half double crochet into the very last stitch. Now we just need to clean off that edge with single crochets. You're gonna chain 1 and you're going to turn. So you put a single crochet into that very first stitch and into each stitch all the way to the end. So you should have 19 single crochets at the end of this row. Well, it doesn't really matter if you have one extra or you know, you're missing one, you won't be able to see. As long as it is nice and straight, we will be fine. So I'm just gonna put 1 double crochet. Now once you come to the half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet right here. So this is the stitch from this half double crochet. Again, it's a funny looking one. Single crochet there, single crochet into the chain 1 space, and then continue on with 1 single crochet into each stitch. Again, this is my half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet. So this is the stitch from this half double crochet, single crochet in that, chain 1 space, single crochet in there, and continue with 1 single crochet into each stitch. Now we have cleaned up the edge. As you can see, it is nice and straight. We're gonna have pom-poms here, so you will not be able to really see these little bumps. Okay, chain 1 and cut your yarn. Now this is where we are going to hide our tails if you have them. So I have hidden most of them. I have a few left just to show you. So again, you want to hide each color in between the same color stitches. So this is my teal blue or teal color, and I'm just gonna, it's in the bottom, I have crocheted over it. Now you can see you might have this little knot right here at the side. If you pull on that tail, on that color that has the knot, if you pull on it, it disappears in between the stitches, and the same with the other ones. If you just pull on it, it kind of hides in between the next row stitches right there, so you have a nice and straight edge. Now I'm just gonna bring it up higher, I'm gonna go in between those stitches one way and back all the way to the outside and cut. And the same with the other color. I'm gonna bring them down to that color right like this, and in between the stitches right here I'm gonna go one way and turn, go back the other way in between those stitches. You can see, like this, and hide all of these tails. Now the very last tails are the very last one right here is very easy to hide in between those single crochets. Like this. So hide all your tails, hide the front and back, and we will meet again and start on the hood. Okay, so this is how our hood will look like. It is technically, it is the same as we did on the scarf, just wider. Okay, so everything exactly the same, 3 double crochets in between our fans, and then we will figure out the width of the hood together, and then you will just keep going until you hit the approximate height of the hood. Okay, so grab your color. So let me see. Okay, I'll do another blue one. I think that's a good color to see. Okay, so we are going to have a look at the hood width. Okay, so let's say I'm making a size 2 to 5 years, and it should be about 37-38 centimeters long. Now what we're gonna do to start is we are going to chain. We are not going to count our chains. We just want to chain approximately the length that we need plus extra 10 chains. So I'm gonna chain approximately 37 So I'm not counting. We will have some excess or leftover chains that we will not have to use. Do not worry about that. We will just cut off everything that we do not need. This way it is much easier to start things like that. When you make your chain too long and then whatever you don't need, after measuring, you just cut it off and you forget about it. Okay, so let me see. Probably need another few. Right, where is my measuring tape? I'm just gonna measure approximately. So I need approximately 37. I'm at 35. I'll just do another few chains. Okay, let me see. So I'm approximately 38 centimeters in length. This is what my hood should be. Now I'm gonna drop that and I'm just gonna add some extra chains, approximately 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so to start row 1, this is the repeat row 1. So you're gonna yarn over, you're gonna skip the first 2 chains. So chain 1 and chain 2, you skip those into the chain number 3. You put a double crochet. So those 2 chains that we have skipped in the very beginning count as 1 double crochet. So we have 1 and 2. We make another double crochet in the next chain, so that is 3 double crochets. Then we skip 2, 1 and 2 into the third chain. We make a fan. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that same chain, like this. Yarn over, skip 2 chains, 1, 2 into the third chain, 1 double crochet, into the next chain, 1 double crochet, might take that away, and 1 more double crochet. So we have to have 3 double crochets in between our fans. Let me show you that again. 1, 2 into the third chain, a fan, so 1 double, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into that same chain. Skip 2 stitches and start your first double crochet, the first of the 3 in between the fans. So this is 1, 2, and 3. Now you keep going, making this until this measures approximately the width of the hood that you need. Now I will keep going. It is easier for me to show once it's done. The only thing is I have to say, when you measure this for the width of the hood, you measure after you make your 3 double crochets, because just in case you already meet your length, or the width, excuse me, of your hood, you want to end with 3 double crochets. So every time I'm gonna do a fan and 3 double crochets, I'll just measure. If it's not enough, I will do another fan and 3 double crochets and measure. So keep going. I will see you in a few seconds. Okay, so I am ready to measure. Again, we'll have a look. So approximately 38 centimeters for me. Now, when you measure, you just flatten it down, and you want to measure around, not at the chain, but approximately around the edge of that row. So I'm at approximately 35.5, 36 centimeters. That is very close to where I need to be. This is fine. I do not want to add another segment of this, because then I will be approximately 4.5 centimeters too long. Now again, it's better that you make this shorter. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Because if you make this too long, once you add the edging at the end of this hood right here, you will have it really long, because you can control this. You know, it's better to make this a slightly shorter, or not as wide as right here, and then add another row or two of the edging to extend it. Okay, I hope that makes sense, because if you make it too wide, much too wide, let's say 3 or 4 centimeters wider than this right here, once you add the edge, it's gonna become really long right here, and it will be hanging over the face a lot. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Better shorter than too long right here. Okay, so again, you finish with 3 double crochets at the very end, and then it is exactly the same as we did with the scarf. So you're gonna chain 1, you're gonna turn, start with a half double crochet, because this is the repeat row 2 back posts double crochets, 1 and 2. Now this is, I'm just reminding you this, 2, then 2 front post double crochets, crochet together, half double crochet in the chain 2 space, chain 2, half double crochet, finish off your fan with 2 front post double crochets, crochet together. The 3 double crochets in between get a back post double crochet each, and again the next fan, 2 front double crochets, crochet together, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, 2 front double crochets, crochet together, and carry on back post double crochets. So you know the drill right now. So it is exactly the same as we did with the scarf, only on a larger scale. So you will keep going, you can see, and you just keep changing your colors, whatever you feel like you want to do, so until you are almost at the full length. Now let us first deal with this part right here, where we have those excess chains. So as you can see, I have quite a few chains left. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna count 3 chains down. So this is used chain, so this is chain 1, chain 2, and chain 3. At the very end of that 3rd chain, so I'm still catching it with my scissors, the very end of it, I'm just gonna cut right here. You can see a little piece came out, that's fine. If you need, grab your needle, and you're just gonna catch that left over and pull that tail once and pull it tight, and you got rid of all those chains that we didn't need. So just cut at the end of the chain, 3rd chain, and then easily give one pull, and it will look like this. Okay, so you keep making your hood until it measures approximately this right here. So hood height 24-25 centimeters for 1 to 2 years, so 27-28 centimeters for 2 to 5 years, and 30 to 31 centimeters for 5 to 8 years. And there is something that we want to do at the very last row. So as you can see right here, I have one more row left that I want to show you, and I am approximately at 26 centimeters in length right now. So I need 27-28. The next row is gonna get me to that needed measurement. So for now, keep going, and I'll meet you at the very last row, and we're gonna do a little bit of decreasing right here. Okay, so whatever your very last row of the hood is, it doesn't matter what we're gonna do. We are going to crochet these 3 double crochets in between the fans together right here, and instead of doing the chain 2 right here, we are only going to do chain 1. Doesn't matter which row you're on. If you're making your repeat row 1 and you're making your 3 double crochets here, you're just gonna crochet them together into one stitch at the top, and when you have to chain in between the 2 double crochets, chain two double crochets, you just make one chain right here. So we just want to make this edge at the bottom a little bit shorter, so once we sew it on, it doesn't take up so much length on the scarf. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I am on repeat row 2. We're gonna chain 1, and we're just gonna do our very first stitch as normal. So I just do my half double crochet. Now the next 2 stitches we crochet together. If you just do your double crochets, you just go into the first stitch, go halfway through, start the other one halfway through, and you crochet them together. Now I need to do this exact same thing, only making back post double crochet. So we'll go around the first double crochet, halfway through stop, yarn over, another back post double crochet, halfway through stop, yarn over, and pull through all the loops. So I still did the back posts, only with the decrease. Then you do as usual right here, whatever you need to do. So for me it is 2 front post double crochets crocheted together, then into the chain 2 space you're gonna do again as usual. For me it is a half double crochet. I would usually do 2 chains. I'm only going to do chain 1 and another half double crochet. Again, we are losing 1 chain in the middle right here. It is again a small decrease, and finish off your fan as usual, whatever you had to do there. Now the 3 double crochets right here, again, if you're just making your double crochets, you go into your stitches and you just crochet them, all of them, 3 of these together. I need to do the same, only with making back post double crochet. So yarn over, go around the first one with a back post, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and stop, yarn over, go around the second double crochet, pull it out, yarn over, pull through 2 loops and stop, yarn over, go around your third double crochet, pull through 2, and then you should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Again, the next step is the usual thing that you have to do. So this is 2 front post double crochets crocheted together. In the chain 2 space right here, whatever you have to do, you lose 1 chain. So half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, and finish off your fan. Again, next 3 stitches, if you are just doing double crochets, you do the same. So halfway and stop, yarn over into the next stitch, halfway, stop, yarn over into the next stitch, halfway, and pull through all 3 loops. So your 3 double crochets should look like this. The only difference is, for me, is that I'm going around the back of them because I still want to keep the pattern. And pull through all loops. Your next thing is your usual, whatever you do here, apart, you take away one of the chains and finish it off. Again, just in case it was hard to see, I'll show another decrease right here, slower. So yarn over, go around the first double crochet or into the first stitch, pull that out, you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 and stop, yarn over, go around the second double crochet, pull out the yarn, yarn over and pull through 2 and stop, and one more time, yarn over, go around the last stitch, pull the yarn out, yarn over, pull through 2, you have 4 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and just go around the bottom like this, and I'll see you at the end of this row. When you get to your very last free stitches, free double crochets right here, again the third last and the second last, you crochet them together, and into the very last stitch you just finish up with a normal stitch. So I just have a half double crochet. You're gonna chain one. Again, make sure that you do have the full length, so I need approximately 27-28 centimeters in width. I'm just gonna lay it down flat. So as you can see, I am at 27. That is absolutely perfect. I am happy with this. So I am going to cut off my yarn. Now I'm gonna keep a lot of tail, so I want to sew it on with the same color yarn. Again, you don't have to do that. You can make sure that you know, you can try and pick one of the colors. If you have a colored cardigan, excuse me, not cardigan, scarf, you can try and choose the one color that will mostly match, you know, the one that will be the hardest to see after the stitching. So I just chose purple because the very middle of my scarf is kind of purple right here, so I will be fine with this color. Now, sewing on. Grab your needle, you need to find the very middle of your scarf, like this. Okay, so find the very middle of your scarf. It is easy for me because I have left this color in the very middle. So we can see this is the very middle of it. The two ends are close together, so like this. If you have a stitch marker next to you, it might be very handy. Now you want to put your scarf, your hood in a half as well, and place the bottom right here, so the bottom of your hood, the very middle of it, to the middle of the scarf. If you have a stitch marker, just put them together so you kind of know that when you sew on, this is the very middle and you don't end up sewing uneven. Okay, like this. So I need to turn this around, and I will start sewing in my red color. It will be noticeable, but it is what we have to do. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here, and I'm just gonna stitch it on like that. Try to make it as unnoticeable as I can. Okay, and so just keep stitching until you have your hood stitched onto your scarf. Now I just have a few or one stitch left right here, just the very last one. I'm gonna make it secure, and once I'm pulling out, I'm gonna just leave a little loop and go in there into that loop with my needle and pull tight. That way I make a knot. I'm just gonna hide the tail in between the stitches somewhere. just like that. And I'm gonna cut it off. It does not look too bad. I cannot really see it. Now, next thing is we're gonna sew up the top of the hood. So grab the same color as the top. I have it in orange. Again, make sure you're gonna have enough to finish sewing. So I usually make a slip knot, so exactly the same as I start with my chains. I do exactly the same when I'm sewing. So this kind of loop, you don't have to do this if you are not comfortable with it, but I'm going to show you how I start, and this is actually quite good. Okay, so to sew on the top of the hood, you're gonna put the hood together with the good side of the hood on the inside. Okay, so we're kind of so this is going to be the inside of the hood, and we're gonna start sewing. At the very end, I have that tail that I have cut off. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna sew over it. So find the very first chain on one side and the very first one you can find on the other side, and you want to join them together. Now this is where my slip knot comes in. I'm just gonna go into the slip knot with my needle and pull tight. That is a very good knot that is not going to unravel. And then I'm just gonna sew around on top of those two tails. So again, just one chain from one side, one from the other side, and one from this side, one from the other side, one from this, and one from the other one. And just keep going until you reach the back of the hood. Now, one thing that you want to do when you are sewing this way is that once you get, you see those bigger chains, it's very bright. So these bigger chains that we did the fans in the very first row, you want to match these two, okay, on both sides. So again, so you don't use up more chains on one side, you know, they are easy to miss. So once you get to a point where two fans are next to each other like this, just make sure that you make a stitch of them together. Then everything is going to look nice and even. So that's the next one. And just like that, keep going to the end. I'll see you right here. Now I have reached the very end. In making the last stitch in, keeping that loop, go into that loop and pull tight. That way I make a knot. I'm just gonna hide that tail a little bit in between the same seam that I have just did. Actually, I would like to go one more time. So I'm gonna go back like this, and I'm gonna cut it off. That is finished. So we have the hood and the scarf now joined together. I do have a few tails left that I need to hide, but at the moment it looks a little bit like this. So the next few things that we are going to do are going to be the fun things. We will start with the edging around here, and then we will do the pom-poms. But first, let's clean up all of our edges so we can start all that. Okay, so to start the edging around the hood, we are going to start at this corner right here. So this is the inside of my hood, and we start right here. Grab your color. So I want to use the dark purple, a really deep purple color. Now make a slip knot and connect as close to that edge as you can. So you are crocheting the first row around on the inside of the hood. Connect, chain one, I'm gonna crochet over that tail so I don't have to hide it. And all we are going to do is we are going to put single crochets in this row all the way around the hood, as pretty much as many as you can, not too close, not too far from each other, just around the edge so they look nice and comfortable there. I'm gonna cut that tail later. Maybe it might be easier to see here. So just single crochet here, single crochet here, here, and just keep going. Maybe here. Not too close, not too far, just as even as you can, all the way around. See you at the end right here. My very last single crochet will be as close to the scarf as I can, so just right here. Okay, so that's nice and neat. Next row is very simple. You're gonna start with chain 2, turn, and you will make 1 double crochet into each stitch around the hood. So you're gonna yarn over. You're gonna skip that very first stitch because the chain 2 count as our first double crochet. So skip that into the next one and start making your double crochets. 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around the hood. Very simple row, just like that. Now finishing this row, my very last stitch, double crochet. Okay, so now we are going to start the next row with chaining 2, chain 2. Again, that counts as the very first stitch. We are going to turn. We are going to find the next double crochet, so we yarn over, so we skip the very first double crochet because it has the chain 2 on top of it. Find the next one, go around it and make a front post double crochet. Then you find the next stitch, which is right here, this double crochet and the stitch on top. Make a half double crochet on top into the stitch. You skip that double crochet around the next one, you make a front post double crochet. Make a half double crochet into the next stitch, so this is the next stitch, half double crochet. Again, double crochet around the next double crochet, half double crochet into the next stitch, front post double crochet. So you have to have 1 double crochet that does not have a post around it in between those posts, and a half double crochet in between the post double crochets. So all there is to that row. So half double, front post, half double, front post. Now if you find this difficult to find the correct place for that half double crochet, you can actually do front post and back post double crochets right here. Now the only thing why I choose to do this is because once you have half double crochet instead of a back post double crochet, the inside of this is very, very flat. Otherwise you're gonna have the same kind of ridging in here as well. And once you are going to turn this for sewing, this part, because it's gonna be doubled up, is going to be really thick right here. So I want the inside of this, or well, it is on the good side right now, to be nice and flat, that once we turn it around, put the little chain in here to hang those pom-poms on, like this, so it is nice and straight in there, and we just have this little kind of front post edging only on the outside of this. But if you find this difficult, you probably should do back post double crochets instead of those double crochets. Anyways, for now you keep going till the end of this row, or to the end of the hood. Where is it? Oh, right here. Okay, so I'm finishing up this row. As you can see right here, I have 2 stitches left. So I'm gonna do a front post double crochet and a half double crochet into the chain 2. Now I was very lucky because as we didn't count our stitches, you might end up right here correctly just like me. That means you had an odd number of stitches, and just in case somebody is finishing, so let's say this is my second last stitch and this is a very last one with a half double crochet here, what you can do is you can go around the same double crochet where you have the half double crochet, just to give it an extra little stripe of that front post double crochet with a half double crochet in between, and then you just finish. You just want both ends to look very familiar, or similar, excuse me, similar. Okay, so you want to have a half double crochet and a front post here, and you want to have a front post and a half double crochet to end. Now I did have a good number of stitches, so I just finish as normal. Now the next row is very similar, but instead of doing front post double crochets, we're gonna do back post double crochets. So you are going to start your row with, oops, lost that one. So start your row with chaining 2, 1, 2, that counts as your very first stitch, and you turn. Now you're gonna have to match those post double crochets from previous row. So the next stitch is your back post double crochet around the front post that was in the previous row. So you just go around the same stitch, just making a back post. And you can see it extends into a long one. Then a half double crochet. So if you look carefully right here, so this is a half double crochet, and the stitches to the left, again, half double crochets leave funny looking long stitches. Do not worry about that, just make a half double crochet. And then a back post. Again, you make sure that you match it on the front post from the previous row. And a half double crochet. So half double crochet here, and the stitch a little to the left, half double and back post double crochet, and half double, back post and half double, and keep going until you get to the other side. And now we are going to have, so finish this row. Obviously you go all the way around, make sure that your post stitches are on the same double crochets all the time. Go to this side, you finish with a half double crochet, and again chain 2, turn and start front post double crochets and half double crochets in between. Finish another row and one more row, chain 2, and again you're gonna do the same row. So you're gonna have 4 post stitch rows to finish. Okay, so this was a double crochet row, so this is the front post double crochet row 1, this is back post row 2, again front post row 3, and back post row 4, and this is the minimum. Now you can keep going if you want this to be longer. I'm just gonna have, so 1 2 3 4 rows with post stitches, and then I'm gonna sew it together. It's not gonna be very long, it's not gonna be very short, it's just gonna be a normal kind of edging right here. Again, if you want it longer, you can just keep going and make more rows right here. Okay, and so I have finished this part. So we have a single crochet row, double crochet, and then 1 2 3 4 rows doing your post double crochets and half double crochets in between. When I finished that, I have cut off my yarn. I left a good long tail so I can sew it once I pull it back like this. Now again, you can make this longer if you want, completely up to you. Okay, so we're almost ready to sew. The only thing we need is, first of all, we need to put a little string in here on the inside so we can hang the pom-poms there. So again, as I'm doing everything very colorful, I'm just choosing an orange color to do my chain. And I did take a 4mm hook, slightly smaller, so my chain is not very loose. and I just start chaining. I'm not counting my chains, it just has to be long enough to go around the hood and hang slightly off the sides. So just keep going and then until it is long enough. Now I have done my chain. As you can see, it is hanging off one side a little bit all the way around the hood, and then hanging off the other side again a little bit. Completely up to you how long you want it to be. You don't even have to cut it off right now. You can sew the edging over first and then see how you like it, if you want to add or take away a few chains. But I am going to cut it off. I am happy with this. So just like that, and I'm not gonna pull that out. If I want to change something, I can still go back in there and use that same loop to add a few chains or to pull a few out. Okay, so now sewing is, so you put your chain on the inside like this, and then you're gonna roll this edge over. And now I'm going to sew it, so you can see where my single crochets are. I'm going to sew it this side to that where the single crochets are. But if you want to be able to see a little bit more of this edge, you can, no problem, you can just pull it back a little bit more and it will look like a wider edge, and you just kind of try to sew in a straight line, perhaps a few like stitches away from the edge. Completely up to you. I'm just going to sew where my single crochets are. So try not to sew onto the chain, keep it on the inside, and starting right at the bottom, and I'm just gonna use my stitches to go in and out. And then into the next stitch, onto the other side, and come out into the next stitch. And just like that, I'm gonna sew it all the way around to the other side of the hood. So I'm finishing. I'm just gonna have another stitch. We're gonna secure the end. I'm gonna grab that loop, go into that loop, and pull tight. Hide a little bit so we don't have to cut very close to that knot, and we are done with that. All we have left is a few tails and a few pom-poms. Now I'm gonna quickly have a look. So I think my chains are fine. They're hanging off a little bit, and my hood is done. You can pull onto it, you can leave it nice and loose. Now, before we start our pom-poms, we are going to get rid of these tails on the chains. So this is very easy. You just go back into the back of the chain. So in between the chains, they're gonna go nowhere, I promise you. Once you are going to attach a pom-pom at the end of this chain, the tail is not gonna come out. So as you can see, into the middle of that chain, and just pull it out. Got that. Oops. And the same with the other one. So into the inside those chains, in between them. Like this. and done. So the next step will be to make some pom-poms. Now I have most of them made, so I have a lot of colors. Again, I'm gonna use 4 to put them on the bottom. I think 4 will be fine, so they are nice and snug close to each other. Perhaps a purple and a mint one. So these are going to be at the bottom of my scarf, and I'm gonna have 2 blue ones hanging off the chain right here. So again, I'm doing it very, very colorful. Is colors everywhere. Okay, so give me a second. I'll get ready and I'm gonna show you how I do my pom-poms. Although, you know, whatever way you do it, you can do it, doesn't matter. Just don't make them too big so they're not pulling the scarf down. So give me a second and I'll show you how I do my ones. Okay, so you want to start your pom-pom, or if you're doing different, just make sure that you have the tails long. Whichever way you do it, you have to have 2 threads, long ones, to connect it to the scarf. So the way I do it, I'm just gonna take a long piece and just leave it lying around, and I use 3 of my fingers. If I want bigger ones, I usually use 4 or the palm of my hand. These are smaller ones, so I just used 3 fingers, and I just wrap around about 40 times. Again, if you want them fuller, because they're not very full as you can see, but I didn't want them to be very heavy, so I just wrap about 40 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, and just another wrap. Cut that off. I'm just gonna take it off my fingers, hold it kind of to the side of it like this, and oops, wrap twice around it, 1 and 2 in the middle. So I have these tails, I pull tight, make sure it's in the middle. Sometimes I do need to move it around like this, one way or another. This time it is nice and in the middle. And I'm just gonna make a knot. And now all I have to do is cut everything nicely. So and then I'm just gonna make it nice and round. Now I am happy with this. As you can see, I find this way to be the quickest and the easiest to make pom-poms. Okay, so I have enough. If you need to make more, you can do that. I have got enough now to join them onto my scarf. Now I'm gonna start with the ones that I want to do right here. So I'm gonna do blue ones. So you still need your needle. And this is very quick to join them onto that. So you just thread one of the two tails, go into the bottom of the chain and pull tight, and just make a knot, a very tight knot, or even a few. Now, once you're happy with that, you can just cut off those two tails to the length of your pom-pom, so about here, and just like that I have a pom-pom connected. Let me do the other one again, exactly the same. Very quick, no fussing around. Done and dusted. Next, now if you are doing different colors for the end, you might want to make sure that you know the way you want them. So I have the face side of the scarf looking at me on both sides of the scarf, and I'm just gonna do orange and orange. Let me see, purple, purple, mint, mint. Yeah, I'm gonna have to squish them, and pink and pink, or whichever way you feel that you want your pom-poms to be at the bottom. So I'm happy with this, and again exactly the same. You just need to make sure you have enough space for all of them. I'm just gonna start with the side one and very close to the edge, in and done. Good. Now I'm gonna do the one on the other side just to make sure that it looks nice and even. So right here. Now of course you can leave some space in between them if you want to. I think I have some space on the one that I have already made. I think I only did 3 pom-poms. Whatever you feel like you want to do there. That's done. I'm gonna do the mint one. So again, I'm gonna go quite close to that one because I have 4. Perhaps right here. And my last one for this side, in between right here. As you can see, it looks nice. They look nice and snug together, and they're really fun with all those colors. And that is done. I am very happy with this. Now I have to do the same on the other side, so let me do that off camera and I'll come back and we'll see the whole thing. Okay, and so this is what I have ended up with. Very fun, very colorful. I'm sure some little girl is going to love this and wear this everywhere, especially if it's the correct weather for this. So just I don't know how to show this very well. Maybe perhaps like this. So just tie it in the front, and the two fronts are gonna be hanging just like that with loads of pom-poms. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. I make these every year, so I really do enjoy making them as presents. So thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next one. I wish you all the best, and bye!